Welcome back, guys. Before we proceed, I just need to clarify some things. Most people believe we have only 3D and 2D animations. Yes, we don't have only 3D and 2D animations. We have a lot of animation styles. We're going to talk about them in this course and how you can create different animation styles. So we have 3D animation and we have 2D animations, of course, but animations are actually beyond 2Ds and 3Ds, especially with the invention of AI. CGI contents are easy to create. So what are CGIs? Before we proceed, we need to know some of these terms. So CGIs are content generated imagery. Yes, this is the use of computer software to create static or animated visual content for movies, televisions, games, and arts. So CGIs right now, this computer software has been replaced by AI. So want to learn how to use AI to create CGIs. It's just as easy as that. So when you trace the history of animation back to when it used to be sketches and all that. So when you check out the history of animation, you see that it all started from sketches. Now we have AI to create all sort of animation for us. Animation is the method for creating moving pictures from still images, as an early history and a modern history that began with the advent of celluloid film. So the history of animation starts from Disney shaped animation history with releases such as Fantasia. So there are a lot of things to this, but the major history I want to draw out is that it all started from sketches. Yes, as you could see right here. It all started from sketches. So in the 1900s, it was a drawing. Animation was in a drawing style. So you could see that. Then it got to humorous face of funny faces. Yeah, still sketches, as you could see. Then we have phantasmagoric, as you could see right here. So there are a whole lot of history behind animation before we now currently we are in the animation era of using AI. So we can use AI to create animation, and that's what we'll be doing. So beyond 3Ds and 2Ds, animation goes beyond that, and that's one thing you need to know. So 3D animations are 3 dimensions. Yes, 3 dimensions. Okay, so when you check 3D animation, it tells you that it's the process of generating moving images in a digital three-dimensional space using X, Y, and Z axis. Unlike 2D, which is flat. Yes, so the major difference between 3D and 2D is that 2D is flat, 3D adds depth. Yes, just like in terms of shape. So 2D will be something like a rectangle, you know, and when you are trying to include depth, you have something like cylinder, you have something like cone. Yes, so you see, this is where 3D comes in. There's always a depth to the character, but 2D is always flat. You could see some of the differences. I have some of the images right there, so you could see this one has depth. If you notice this 2D versus 3D, you would notice depth. If you see this one now, you see that it's somehow flat. The hair, everything seems flat, but you could see this one would have like some depth to it. So basically 2D and 3D, they are not hard to tell. So for instance, this is CGI, a computer imagery with depth and everything you need from a 3D. So this is an example of a 3D image. As you can see that the whole thing looks almost real, though it is animation. So this, I'm going to show you how to generate characters like this. If you see anime this way, some of these animes are not 3D characters, they are 2Ds. So we have a whole lot right here that we want to talk about. And we're going to see how to create all these different types of characters, like animation characters, and how to go about creating different types of movies, animation movies. I hope to see you in the next lesson where we get to talk about creating animation characters with AI. I hope to see you in the next lesson. See you there.